Gold, gold, gold once again. Well, here's the gold price over the last few days, and as you can see, as soon as the Swiss announced they were unpegging from the euro, price started to shoot up a lot. I mean, it was already climbing, don't get me wrong. The climb of gold has been pretty relentless since really the beginning of December, suggesting that possibly suppression has moved out. But at the moment, everybody's buying gold. And it's my suggestion that possibly you might want to too. So let's have a look and see what's happening. Surely there's been lots of positive reports, especially from the US government, about how well the economy is doing. So why are people buying gold suddenly? Well, let's look at retail sales. Inventory data suggests strong fourth quarter growth. Well, yes, it's kind of gone up a bit, but you have to remember that they're talking about fourth quarter growth in retail in 2014, last year. But all of this inventory has been sold at a discount. So although the growth in actual volume sales is up, the profitability is down. And that's very important, because profitability going down leads to articles like this. Will JCPenney close 200 stores? Well, we know they plan to close 40 stores and get rid of 2,250 people onto the unemployment figures, of which more later. And they're still not profitable. Revenue drop, and the reason why is that people have got no money, and people are not spending. So in order to entice them to spend, there's massive discounts, maybe as much as 40% on some things, in order to get them off the shelves. So as it says here, the analysis is that JCPenney has not closed enough stores, and one of the main reasons for this is that there are severance and rent costs associated with the closings. So it does actually cost you to close a store. But they're expecting more, and logic would tell you if they're closing 40 stores and it's 2,250 jobs, then closing 200 stores is going to be 4 times that figure or more. So you're looking at something like 10,000 people out of work, and that's just from one retailer. Okay, they're a big one, but it's just one. Home sales, always a good predictor of economic success, or not, as the case may be. And we can see that people were believing what the government was saying about the economy, and from its low in January 2010 or so, you can see mid-year 2010, you can see it's gone up steadily. Home sales have been going up, boosted by the government's decision to, I must say, to drop the rate for deposits to 3%. And then suddenly it's fallen off a cliff midway through 2014 because people have no money. The wages have gone down. Although the government might be trumpeting that employment is up, the amount of people who earn a decent wage has gone down, because a lot of this employment is part-time. Now, here's the official statistics through 2014 and the unofficial. Now, this is Shadow Stats number, and this includes all of the people that the government have kicked out as being not looking for work, people who've been unemployed for longer than the minimum amount. And as you can see, it's not dropped. It's slowed. It may be as flat, but you certainly don't have what the official government figures show, which is a decline in unemployment. In fact, unemployment is heading for 25%, I would suggest, by 2017, by the look of that line there, and not to zero by 2019, which is what the government's figures would suggest. So much for employment. So there's no real recovery. The only recovery is in the stock market, and the reason for that is basically free money, zero interest rates. I mean, even if you only make 0.25% over a year, if the money's cost you nothing to borrow, then you'll borrow it and gamble on the stock market. It's only logical. So it's not just people that are buying. Here we have an article about Russia, but it's not just Russia, as the article actually points out, but Russia bought 55 tons in 3 months to the end of September last year as prices weakened, and other countries as well have bought. And central banks, who they like to say that gold isn't money, it's nothing to do with money, gold is irrelevant, and the number of times that central banks have said that is amazing. However, they're still buying it. 93 tons in the third quarter, and by the end of the year, central banks will have acquired up to 500 tons of gold. So if it's not money and it's worthless and useless, as they're saying, why are the central banks buying it? And the analysis here is that recent increases in gold holdings could be a sign of greater geopolitical risk that has arisen. But I think that's rubbish. I think it's just that all the bankers know that our current economy situation is very weak, and traditionally the only thing that's kept its value through crashes is gold, or if you've got a lot of assets, you can buy a railroad, as Warren Buffett famously did recently. Well, I hope you found this interesting and useful, and if you have, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much.
He's in charge of all our work on inflation. I also have security. So it's very heavy. Everyone usually wants to know about values and things like that. So what bar is the just top of the accounts? In this room, you have 3,000. You will have seen today how much your visit has meant to all of us at the bank. You have so many demands on your time, especially in this, your Diamond Jubilee year. I'm so grateful to you for coming.
Oh, hi, Arduinotronic. For gold news, finances, opinions, art, and just loads of interesting crap. Alright?